Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. As smoking rates in youth continue to rise across Saskatchewan, the Canadian Cancer Society, Heart and Stroke Foundation, and the Lung Association of Saskatchewan continue to lobby the provincial government to take action and reduce tobacco use. 2015 is proving to be another banner year for the city of Swift Current, with $87 million in building permits issued to the middle of November. In addition to their day-to-day routine within city limits, the fire department also has service contracts with the RM of Swift Current and the RM of Excelsior. Thanks for joining us here today. Tobacco control continues to be an area of concern for a number of health organizations in the province. We have more in today's top story. Smoking is a common pastime for many, and as smoking rates in youth continue to rise across Saskatchewan, the Canadian Cancer Society, Heart and Stroke Foundation, and the Lung Association of Saskatchewan continue to lobby the provincial government to take action and reduce tobacco use. The latest message to the government of Saskatchewan comes in the form of a report card, with the province receiving a D+ for its efforts, as the partnering agencies continue to stress the effects of tobacco use and overall health.
We know that tobacco use is responsible for 30% of cancer deaths. Over the next 15 years, we're going to see the number of cancer cases rise by 40%. We have a high youth smoking rate. We already have a healthcare system that is overburdened. If we don't get a hold of our youth smoking rates, illnesses related to tobacco will overwhelm our healthcare system and society. And so we need to do more work on the prevention area, and these policies that other governments are adopting are a way to do that. So we are perplexed, quite frankly, scratched in our heads as to why there seems to be such a reluctance from this government. In 2013, 2014, the government raised $275 million in tobacco taxes, and it spent $450,000 on tobacco control. That is shameful.
Pachesnik hopes the report card will be a wake-up call to the government of Saskatchewan. And despite receiving an A for tobacco taxation and a B for prohibiting smoking in motor vehicles with youth as passengers, and a ban on sale of tobacco in pharmacies, the province of Saskatchewan still needs to improve in several areas.
But that was back in 2009. Since then, governments across Canada have adopted legislation that goes far and beyond those measures. They are now, we have 5 provinces that have banned flavored tobacco and menthol products, which are extremely popular among kids. 29% of kids are using menthol versus 5% of adults. That's a big problem, and we would like to see menthol banned. 7 provinces have banned outdoor smoking on patios of restaurants and bars. Saskatoon did it 11 years ago, Warman and Martinsville earlier this year. Why is the government not moving on this when our polling shows that people are supportive of these measures?
Lung cancer is one of the top diagnosed cancers in Canada, excluding non-melanoma cancer, and is the leading cause of death from cancer for both men and women across the country. 2015 has been another banner year for the city of Swift Current in the area of building permits. We have more in this report. 2015 is proving to be another banner year for the city of Swift Current, with $87 million in building permits issued to the middle of November. This is an overall increase of 36% compared to $67 million last year, and exceeds the previous historical record for building permits set in 2012 at $83.6 million. An overall achievement, which the city's mayor is proud of.
The 25-year period prior to 2003 was about $200 million in total construction over that same period of time. So pretty hard to believe when you think about it that in a 4-year span we have $280 million in construction, and previously in our city's history it took 25 years to get up to a portion of that. So pretty exciting, and as I said, you don't get that without people that believe in your economy and are willing to invest, and we appreciate that.
The data collected for 2015 spans numerous projects, including the construction of the new 225-bed long-term care facility, new home construction, and the selling out of the remaining 8 acres of land in the Monroe Industrial Park area, with high hopes set for another busy year in 2016.
We have a lot of projects, I think, that were in the plan for this year that didn't get carried out. So there's going to be some commercial development, perhaps around the hospital area. We know industrial, there's a few vacant properties in Monroe Industrial Park that have sold and they're going to build next year. There's some multifamily developments that are going to get going, and of course a lot of single-family units. So I think we're going to have a strong year. I don't think, it doesn't look like we'll have a real significant large institutional project such as the long-term care, or in 2012, which was our previous best year, we had the 2 new schools and a water treatment plant expansion. So we won't have those extremely large institutional projects for next year, but I think overall we're going to have another really, really good year of construction.
Solberg adds the expansion of the Monroe Industrial Park area will occur throughout 2016, with new lots available for sale the following year. And on the residential side, along with the 80 new lots in the new Cypress Point subdivision near the Elmwood Golf Course, other areas of the city are also available for residential development.
40-some lots in the Sask Valley area, which is around the hospital, will be coming on board here in the next short while. And we have a fair decent inventory from last year. So I think we're all right for next year on single family, as well as the multifamily properties there have been sold and we believe will be developed next year.
Positive building permit numbers for our growing community, and falling in line with the City of Swift Current's target of reaching 25 by 25.
I'm really enjoying it here. I always did like Swift Current. This is kiting paradise.
As we approach the end of the year, the City of Swift Current's Fire Department has renewed a number of contracts with area RMs. The City of Swift Current's Fire Department plays a vital role in the community, offering fire and rescue services to local residents. In addition to their day-to-day routine within city limits, the Fire Department also has service contracts with the RM of Swift Current and the RM of Excelsior. Paperwork, which is now renewed following Council's approval for another 4-year term with the RM of Swift Current, and only for 1 year with the RM of Excelsior. Dennis Pilon is the city's fire chief and explains the services offered to these 2 particular RMs on an annual basis.
I believe out in the RM of Excelsior we would go out about 4 times for fire every year, and probably 6 to 8 times for vehicle extrications. We do a lot of extrications in the RM of Swift Current because of the number 1 highway and the volume of traffic just outside the city. So we do probably 15 or 20 vehicle extrications. As far as fire, typically 1 or 2, that's about it. And because they have their own fire department, they handle most of their fires, but they have called us to back up.
Pilon further adds that the City of Swift Current's Fire Department also has rescue agreements with 5 surrounding RMs, which not only assist victims in life-saving circumstances, but also help the smaller communities on a budgeting level.
The jaws of life cost about $15,000 to $20,000, and a lot of small departments, small communities, they can't afford that. And beyond that, there's all the training that's involved in it. Then you get into rope rescue, and there's so many different facets to it. They just don't have the ability to do that. And by us building our expertise in those things and being able to sell it, it helps it become more affordable to the city taxpayers.
Fees outlined for service contracts with neighboring RMs are based on a cost recovery basis for the City of Swift Current Fire Department. The Swift Current Fire Department has been serving local residents since 1910. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at MyLocalTV.ca. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.